last day in Hawaii today. We're on the iconic Queen K, which is the main road used for the Ironman triathlon here. Despite this looking like a lovely bike ride, this is actually, believe it or not, work. We've covered Dov's bike in sensors. What are they called? Sailboat discombobulators.
So we got the ultrasonic anemometers attached, and we're also rocking an accelerometer today as well.
So the idea behind this is that it's data collection in a real world scenario. So Dov, as we mentioned, owns Parcours Wheels and does all of his own aerodynamic testing. Wind tunnel testing is just part of that, and you need data from the real world as well to go along with it. I can't complain, Dov. Can I come aero testing with you more?
Yeah, it's not bad when this is work, right?
It's always in Hawaii, right?
Sure.
Skenic and picture skew.
So we've been testing two things today. The first test was looking at the impact on your handling stability from running your disc wheel. So that involves multiple repeats out and back with a spoked rear wheel and then with the disc. And what we're doing is we're using the accelerometer on the bars to record the magnitude of any sort of twitchy movement. And then at the same time, every time we finish a run, we complete a questionnaire. We're asking things like, does the rider feel safe? Does the rider feel in control? What sort of perceived strength of twitchy incidents do you have? And how much concentration you need to apply in order to stay safe. The second piece that we were looking at was collecting some real world data on wind angles. So this goes back to our study that kicked off about 2.5 years ago now, where we were looking at the difference in yaw angles between the front and the rear wheel. And what we know from testing back home is that there is a difference. So there is a wider yaw angle at the front, whereas at the rear wheel it's a slightly shallower yaw angle. As the wind hits the side of the bike, a portion of it then gets deflected backwards along through past the rider's legs onto the frame, and the vector sum of the two means that the rear wheel sees a lower yaw angle on average. Obviously out here in Kona we know that there's a lot of focus on wind conditions, so we wanted to make sure that we have a good library and catalogue of data. And the reason for this is that we know that when we test in the wind tunnel, we're testing at fixed yaw angles. So in order to apply that to the real world, you need to know what weighting to apply to those yaw angles. So as an example, we've got data for our wheels at, let's say, 15 degrees of yaw, but if we know that you very, very rarely see that as a percentage of the time when you're riding, then we put less focus on that. Whereas we know that you spend much more time, over 2/3 of your time, between a yaw angle of 2.5 to 7.5 degrees, so we apply a greater weighting to that.
There's a fly in your face.
There is. But the way we've been testing that is using these, which are ultrasonic anemometers. What happens is the sensor will beam 4 beams of ultrasonic signal down through this little gap here, and then it will use the response from that to calculate both the wind speed and the wind direction. That gives us the strength of the wind and the yaw angle that we're seeing. We're riding along with these at both the front and the rear axle attached to the bike. We're recording at 60 Hertz, so 1 data point per second, and that gives us a really good idea of exactly what wind conditions you're seeing when you're out riding.
And are these used on sailboats?
So originally that's where they were developed for. They sit on top of the mast of a sailing ship, but we've got a pretty unique application for them. They work really, really well. The data is really good, high resolution, super quick and easy. Just downloads the 2 data loggers on a couple of phones. So you just ride along with those in your pocket, recording the data, and then we get home and we analyse it.
Boner phones.
Absolutely.
Lucky you got so many extra phones, isn't it? Now we've made Dov even faster, put a disc wheel on his bike, which is coincidentally banned here. I've got to keep up with him during an effort and film him. Why did I sign up for this? Can I have a TT bike next time?
Ask Scott.
Purely anecdotally, how did that wheel feel compared to the disc?
It felt a lot more twitchy. I don't know if there were more trucks coming past or the wind had changed a bit, but there was definitely a few more oh shit moments. Yeah, I think you need to try them back to back. Once you try them back to back, you can really feel the difference.
Mission accomplished. Time to fly home. See you next year, buddy. Kelowna Airport pretty unique. The whole thing is outdoors, which means it's really hot. Dropping off your bike at the airport after the Ironman is actually harder than doing an Ironman. Nerd. We are now in LA.
It's so cold.
It's very cold. I should have a jumper. Should we go back to Hawaii? What time do you think it is?
Why is there a flamingo?
I've been here in GTA as well. I rode a jet ski through there.
Did you?
Hi Lucy, tiny head.
Oh hi, fancy seeing you here. Bye. Miss you.
Yes. Flying visit to LA. It would have been rude to not see the beach. I still don't know what time it is. I feel very tired. We've got a very long flight now. How long is the next flight?
Like days.
LAX airport, flight number 1 of the day. Or 2 days.
We did a flight yesterday.
Something like that. Did we?
Yeah. Last night.
I don't remember it. Just found Justin and Rojan at the airport. They sneaked me in the lounge.
They should be touching down on the hour in about 15 minutes time from now on our speech.
Guys, I'm very confused. It looks like daytime, but it doesn't feel like daytime. And I got home, I think last night, woke up at 2 AM, edited this video because I couldn't sleep. So now I can put this live today, as long as I talk to the camera a little bit and make an ending. Here's an ending. Bought myself a new Camelback because my other one went mouldy, and in 2 weeks' time, if I ever recover from this jet lag, I'm going to be embarking on the biggest bike trip I have ever been on. I know this is really annoying because I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but I can give you a bit of a clue. It was very handy bumping into Justin at the airport because it meant we could do a little bit of planning related to the trip. Despite what I said at the start of today's episode, stay tuned this week for one more episode from Hawaii. I'm sat on some footage and it would be a shame to waste it. I'm going to spend the rest of today trying to stay awake. Thank you for your continued support and watching all these videos, and see you guys soon.